young man, young lady, lucky lady, luck be a lady tonight, luck be a lady tonight, luck if you've ever been a lady to begin with. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Yes, she's...
Welcome.
Welcome to the
Am I on?
You are on.
Well, that was great, wasn't it?
It was.
That's some of the best openings ever. That was me coaxing Lucky. Lucky, come here. Lucky, come on, Lucky. Lucky.
No,
forget
that's
it. It's
it.
over. It's over.
She likes to please, but she does not
She
does not take orders very well.
Lucky, if you don't know, if you understand me, make sounds.
Nice. Typical.
How
are you?
Good. I like that hat.
Thank you. I didn't expect that, really. I expected something much more snide than
I
that.
would have. Part of me. This is the new me.
I like.
Part of me wants to be
suddenly.
snide.
I like the new you.
Well, I was listening.
First time the new you has paid off for me.
How's your levels? You have enough gas?
I think we're good. Yes.
All right. I don't know what that means.
It doesn't matter. I wasn't listening. So.
I listened to a podcast I enjoy because shout out, Too Beautiful to Live. Shout out. Is that the way you do a shout out?
I guess.
I noticed.
It's not comfortable, but yeah.
One thing I noticed is different from their podcast and to our podcast.
Yeah.
They're both respectful.
Oh.
And then they each listen to each other.
And it still works?
And the one guy goes, sorry if I cut you off.
Oh. Jeez, I'm getting a rash from that.
So I think I'm going to be. This is the new Andy now. I heard what you just said. I'm going to get a rash from that.
Welcome aboard, new Andy.
But I do realize that there is something to be said about me not making every podcast a contest.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
No, we shouldn't.
That's how I feel.
Because we're late to the race, first of all.
Well, no. I mean, between me and you. So far, I'm 17 to 15.
You whatever.
7.
You're winning. You won every episode there.
How many total? 17 to 16.
This is test show 33. So
yeah. Also, my friend Larry Berger. Before we forget, but how are we going to forget? He wrote to me by direct message.
Yeah.
He said, Thought Spiral recording test show 33 in about a half hour. Questions, comments, requests. New regular segment, The Week in Meals.
Yeah.
I don't mind that.
Okay.
Don't put down my friend Larry Berger. I mean, it's unbelievable.
I went, yeah.
He's one of my best friends,
I said
too.
One word. It was the most positive word you could say,
but
in
guess
fact.
what?
It was
He's the guy who got me into coffee.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Okay, well, then I'm starting to get hostile.
Larry, I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry, Larry.
He just threw you under the bus.
Shout out to Jen Kirkman because she shouted back to us.
Yes.
Now, I don't know if we're going to continue what we've started, but we started right into the show. We've never done that before. Usually we come in and you go, come on, we need to have a game plan. I said, what are you worried about? No, we need a game plan so I know what you're going to say. I said, Josh, stop that stupid voice, I say often to you.
Yes.
And then for about a half hour, you make us go over the topics.
Right.
We go over we Google News.
Right.
Here's something. And that's the way, and I'm tired of that bit, is what I'm saying to you. I'm tired of the bit. What was the bit I was doing was that you are rigid and I am not.
I don't know. You had just gotten to right up to the snore line and then backed off.
You know, that's becoming quite a thing now.
Yeah.
I see people all over town doing the Andy Kindler, Josh Weinstein. Mr. Weinstein,
yes.
Please come in here, please.
I'm sorry.
Mr. Weinstein,
hold on one moment.
Yes.
Call security. He's back. All right, yes.
Mr.
Hello,
Weinstein.
Mr. Kindler. Nice to see you.
Have you sexually harassed anybody?
I have not.
Is that why your last name is Weinstein?
Oh, that's not funny at all.
It really is.
Get out of my office.
It really isn't funny. Is that how you know the difference between a sexually harassing Weinstein and a regular Weinstein? Dear Thought Spiral, there are certain things that you shouldn't joke about. There are certain things, like, for example, that's a pediment joke.
It was.
Thought things.
Like,
I don't do that.
That was like Trump doing the Jerusalem speech.
Well, I
truly thought stroke when I heard that.
I just want to.
And now I know it's denture.
Wish
you can
everybody
see his
from
denture
the
sinking into frame in his mouth.
from the from this country.
Jerusalem, 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 the holy city.
They never said, this is what Trump does. They never said it could happen. Years ago, nobody has ever, before I came here, made a statement that the next day caused instant violence in the area that I talked about. That's never, they've talked about it before.
No one has ever been this incendiary.
Right. He actually, in my opinion, and I hope I don't insult anybody here, he's responsible for the deaths of the people the next day on the wherever they were upset.
Yeah.
West Bank?
Yeah.
Why is he not in jail? War criminal.
He likes being responsible for those kinds of deaths.
He really, now what do you think that is?
Evil?
Yeah.
All right, moving
Good
on.
one.
Okay.
Good one.
Diagnosed.
I was
Next.
wondering what that was. Well, yesterday I made an argument online because I stopped. As you know, my online social behavior has improved radically. I'm almost a model Twitter citizen.
A Twitterson, if you will.
A Twitterson online. But yesterday I said, well, I've said tweets like this before, and I realize now that when you tweet something similar, if you spend 3 seconds worrying that other people have seen your similar tweet,
Yeah.
you shouldn't be tweeting. That's what I've decided.
Right.
So I tweeted that the two most dangerous people in the world are Netanyahu and Trump. One is Jewish, and the other one is a phony Christian. And so much for the whole. So you were all wrong, all you people who claimed Islam. I don't know. It was better yesterday when I tweeted
Wow,
it.
that did not
I can't
hold
even
up.
remember. That can't be the tweet. I certainly. Wow. Hey, if I'm going to defend the tweet, I should bring him in. But basically, I was saying just going after the people like Bill Maher, who kept saying the only thing to worry about is Muslims. And so I don't know why I brought that up. I brought it up because someone said Putin's more dangerous, but I think Netanyahu is actually more dangerous than Putin because he's crazy.
No?
No,
I don't think so.
Okay, Putin's more dangerous because he's not as crazy. Maybe he just kills people quietly, and you get poisoned.
Well, Putin. Ostensibly, Israelis are operating on some set of principles.
Oh, I see. You hear it once again. The ADA got to you.
I'm not saying I agree with that set of principles.
Right.
But Putin isn't playing by any of those rules. He's a true thug. It's a money game for him.
True, but I just want to tell you that Josh has been afraid.
This is one time where the Jews aren't the money grubbers. Well, maybe
what do you mean
both.
the money grubbers?
I mean, that's what Putin is up. He's the head of head of a criminal organization, is what I'm saying.
That's the only thing he likes about the Jews, he said. Is the money grubbing.
Exactly. Did you see Roy Moore's wife before you came over?
That was so good.
Oh, my God.
Didn't she borrow my delivery a little bit?
It was a little of that.
She was like, one of our attorneys is a Jew.
One of our attorneys is a Jew.
But she delivered it as if she would have known that that's the joke part. But she didn't know that was a joke.
She did not know it was the joke part. No, she did not.
To say that one of your attorneys is a Jew
in your face, yes.
is exactly what you should say if you want to prove that you're a bigot.
Right.
I liked you. People have talked about us and our relationship with the Jews. One of my rabbis, she said my rabbis too. One of my rabbis.
No, she went, I'll have you know my attorney is a Jew. One of our attorneys is a Jew. We have many friends who are Jews, including rabbis.
That's right.
I think is what she said.
But that to me is even more bigoted. It's like she sees.
The soundbite pretty much ends at lawyer is a Jew. Pretty
that
much.
Might lose the election for him.
Not in Alabama. No, it'll lose it for him in New York for sure.
Well, Charles Barkley was down there.
Charles Barkley,
campaigning against this Roy Moore, who's your hero for some reason.
Boxcar Willie was down. Oh no, I'm sorry, that's Steve Bannon.
Have you heard Steve Bannon when he's doing his just good old boy? He's trying to be a good old boy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, he's from the South now. Is that what he's claiming?
Yes. And he loves
these guys come down here with their fancy New York ways.
Carpetbaggers.
Donald Trump is a man of the people. He's not one of these dag-nabbit.
This is all going to be so old next week. Anyway.
It's not going to be old. You know why? Because my voices are
those are timeless. For
my
sure.
voices are so great now.
They really are.
I can't even believe it. I've taken it to another level. I've taken it to another level. So anyway, Josh is wearing a hat that I could have made fun of, but it's almost I could go two ways with it.
Okay,
Woody
go
Guthrie
ahead.
called.
Okay, yeah,
And
I
he
think
wants
that's what
his-
you did last time I wore this hat.
Yeah, he wants
So,
his guitar, and he says, "This land is not your land. You keep wearing that hat, this land won't be your land." Something like that.
This hat kills fascists.
This hat gets. Is that one of his things?
That was Pete Seeger's guitar, I think, is This Machine Kills Fascists.
Oh, my God. And also plays very boring versions. What did he used to play? If he had a hammer, ba-doop boop.
This land is your land. This land is my
everybody.
land. From California. That was
Did
pretty
he?
good Pete Seeger. Come to think of it.
I'm going to try not focus on it. But let me ask you this. Was he was blacklisted for being a communist, right?
Yes.
Not because the songs were terrible.
I think it's because he was a communist.
He's here. Did you hear my joke? I don't like this. I'm going to tell you something. You've told me privately you're for blacklisting. I think it was a bad thing.
Don't Feldman me.
Is that what Feldman does?
That's what he does to you. especially.
Online, yeah. No, well, Feldman and I have a relationship online where we'll say, "Hey, I tried to read that Pol Pot autobiography.
Right.
It doesn't come off anymore. I have no more empathy for him,
Right.
even after reading about his recipes." Pol, you know what his favorite meal was? The Pol in the
Pol
pot.
Pot roast.
Pol in the pot. Pol Pot roast. Come on, I could come up with so many jokes about references that are no longer applicable.
You could.
You think the kids today don't know from your Pol Pot?
I would say, if I saw a kid who didn't, I'd say, "Come here, kid."
I don't know why I got this non-filtered camel laugh. Pal Mal's.
It felt genuine, though. I
It was genuine.
Come here, I said.
Come here. Oh. Come here, Rouge. I don't know how I got Rouge into it.
No, well, you didn't. That's why I stopped at come here.
You know what? What red in is it Cambodia?
Yeah.
In Cambodian makeup.
Say again. You want to set that
Color
up
red. If you want if you're ordering
red makeup,
red communist makeup.
the Khmer Rouge.
Yes.
The shade you're looking for is what you're getting to. Okay. All right.
Why the red so much? Why did the communists go with the red, and then why did the Republicans just go with a bad sense of design and horrible graphics? Why do Republicans have terrible taste? Is there any Republicans that you know of who you go, wow, I don't like this guy, but I got to tell you what he's got going on in this den?
I don't know. I saw Frank Luntz at lunch the other day.
He went to lunch with you?
Not with me, no. He was there at the restaurant.
And did you say, I know Frank Luntz, actually.
Do you?
He's you know why I know him?
Why?
He's a Raymond fan.
Oh, okay.
And he actually, if you want to say on the good list of what Frank Luntz has done, he helped us when we merged the unions a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then I'll say.
So what was he? Who was he talking to? Was he interviewing a table of people?
He had walked just in and past us, and he.
How was the lunch?
Lunch is good. I had lunch with TV's Josh Mankiewicz.
Who has the
Dateline
greatest
NBC.
Twitter bio?
What does it say? I knew you wouldn't.
Oh my
consider-
God! It's something about his hips. So funny. He also tweets
Let
during.
me just go back to Frank Luntz and.
Okay, I'm sorry. My fault.
I just wanted to. I won't say much since you have nice things to say about him.
No, I don't.
I will. I
terrible.
understand. I heard what you were saying about Frank Luntz. And
I say give him a
know.
second chance.
You were saying Frank Luntz, Republican pollster, is the best guy.
You saw Frank Luntz, Republican pollster,
I did.
yesterday?
I did.
He's the one who came up
He
with
had to get a
Democrat
separate
Party.
chair for his toupee.
Wait, what are you saying now?
I'm saying.
He has a piece?
I'm saying the chin strap was a little much.
You really think that's a feature that they have with toupees?
Yes.
They're more afraid of it coming off than they are afraid of
That
it
would be
looking
so
badly?
embarrassing, yes. So yeah, we also Larry King sighting at lunch.
What was he doing?
he was again walking by, but it was after I had already been bashing on Larry King at the lunch. And Josh was like, "Yeah, he's probably here right now. He'll probably walk by in his members only jacket." And
Did you tell us
sure
where
enough,
you were?
10 minutes later,
He did?
Sure enough, Larry King walked by
With one of his wives or alone?
No, with a guy, with another elderly feller, and Larry King looks like a Larry King Pez dispenser. It's just a head on a stick at this point.
Why is he still doing those? Why does he have to do infomercials? Why is Larry King at this point?
Because at a certain point, you just go, "Hello, yes." That's what you do when you answer the phone.
But he's in his usual. Don't you think he's ruining his usual format? He's poisoning the honor of his usual format for money.
No, I think his usual format was designed for money as well.
You mean when he interviewed Don Rickles?
Yeah,
he did it for the love of it.
Yeah. And it was a tough interview, too. He really put the screws on Don, didn't he?
No, I have to tell you, Rickles, Larry King was... Larry King is a perfect foil.
Sure.
For
I'm sure
Rickles.
He laughed and laughed and laughed.
Yeah, because, my favorite one, I've said this to you a million times, where he comes on, where he goes, "Tonight, Don Rickles is my guest. Don, you've done so many wonderful movies in your life, and you're also a comedian, but a lot of people want to know, why don't you do more serious acting roles?" And then Larry King said to, Don Rickles said, Larry King, "Larry, you're a Jew." That was his reaction. "You're a Jew, Larry. You're going to come down to Vegas when I'm playing, and you're going to suck the tablecloths up through your nose because they're free." You're a Jew, Larry.
It's a good comeback at any point in any conversation, pretty much.
In other words, he didn't even hear what... He's worse than me, probably.
I think he would have been, yeah, especially in his 80s.
Rickles?
Yeah.
Oh, this was
Rickles
still when
in
he
his
was
80s is a preview of what we're facing in the next year.
No, but he could still. But he just you could tell he didn't care what Larry was saying. He just knew he was going to get that line. "You're a Jew, Larry."
Sure.
Larry, you're a Jew.
Yes, he was just loading up while Larry was talking.
And he's going to see. You could claim that it's a stream of consciousness to it, or that it makes no sense. But to me, the fact that Larry King would suck the tablecloths up through his nose because they're free is such a great joke about Larry King's big Jew nose.
Right.
It's a joke.
Cheapness. Is in there, yes.
And to me, I had to explain, I'm a big Kumail Nanjiani fan. I don't know if you saw that movie. I really enjoyed The Big Sick.
Yeah.
So anyway, but years ago when I first met Kumail, I think he's an amazing actor and he's hilarious.
You've told this story.
What's wrong with me? I mean, it's not even normal. It's not normal. I probably told that story last week.
A couple weeks ago.
Where he didn't understand, where I had to defend Don Rickles is
yes.
what it was. All right, so why am I talking more about it? Remember a couple of weeks ago when I was talking about, remember a couple of weeks ago when I brought up Kumail?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I still got nothing new. I don't envy you at all.
No. Nor should you.
Do you know what I'm talking about when I say that?
Huh? Because I have to
edit
and
we are really on
suffer.
A wavelength now. So I'm trying to think of more jokes about that hat, but it looks good.
Thank you. Sometimes
you nail it.
Sometimes the bald man needs to wear a hat.
Do you take finasteride?
No.
I do.
He was one of the Legion of Doom, wasn't he? Finasteride?
I don't even know what that is. What is that? Could that be? Let me try and guess what it is.
Okay.
Through one of those question shows.
All right.
Is it a superhero?
It was a superhero.
Is it from England?
No.
Is it a DC superhero?
It is.
And like the Submariner or somebody? I have no idea who these people are.
It was a reference to Sinestro, who was one of the evil
you knocked your watch
villains
against the
in
table.
the Legion of Doom and the Super Friends.
Who?
The Super Friends.
This is ridiculous. Is this some kind of Archie's thing that you're into?
Yeah, basically Saturday morning superhero cartoons from my time.
But you didn't watch that. I thought you were above it. You would walk around your house as a 12-year-old with a pipe. Oh, this is much too pedestrian for me.
Wow. You killed yourself with that.
I'd like to bring to you young Josh Elvis Weinstein. Good morning, Father.
I didn't laugh that much.
Good morning, Father. No, this is still me laughing at my own material, which I've always claimed is a terrible thing to do. Also, I'm laughing.
We take you now to St. Louis Park, Minnesota, circa 1984. What are we doing, 13? What are we doing?
When you were 13? We go now.
No, what age are you going to play me at?
I would like to say 7.
Okay, we take you now to St. Louis Park, Minnesota, circa 1978.
Good morning, Father.
Good morning, Josh.
Well, you look...
My favorite son.
You look... Well, thank you, Father. Father. It's a capital day, Father.
Why, yes, it is.
Are we going to...
Josh.
Are we going to watch cricket like we normally do? I have nothing for your character. I don't even know what the character would be.
Just wanted to see what you had. How deep this went.
Well, you didn't allow me to turn around and go into a magical change.
No, but you had the pipe. You had the physicalization of it.
What underdog? More like a dog who's mumbling and I can't understand one word they're saying. This TV is it's veritably the idiot box, Father. It's an idiot box. I'm smoking my pipe. You see it?
Yes, I do.
Father, when are they going to get less contrived material on TV? Father, are the Coen brothers available?
No, I'm sorry, Josh. Were you saying something?
Father, am I living in the same city that the Coen brothers are from?
Well, why, yes, you are, son. We've talked about this.
We really did talk about that?
No. I mean, well, I've mentioned it because I always mention it.
You notice how I say don't yes and you?
You know, I did notice you don't yes and me. Yes, I noticed that many test shows ago.
I noticed that many test shows ago. See, my new plan of listening
is not working. Yes ending. Repeating is not yes ending.
It's not?
That's yes and againing.
That's yes and againing, yeah. In other words, I do a thing, anybody can yes and. I do a thing, let's recap where we've been.
Right, that's nice. That's useful.
So far. Oh, I got to tell you, doing impressions without having any comedy or point of view, it's not so easy. Mr. Weinstein, I am sorry. How did we get, now I haven't, we're getting a lot of mail now.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing.
It's fantastic.
Is anyone mailing money in?
No one is mailing money in, but the merch will go on sale soon. The samples are going to be here this week.
Whoa.
Once we sign off on that, boom, we open the store.
What are we going for Christmas next year?
It's not happening for Christmas, I don't think.
Oh, it's not?
It'll come, it'll be up before Christmas.
It'll be everybody's after Christmas.
But no one should count on it for gifts.
Why would you buy it as a gift?
I don't know.
You have the worst family in the world.
Yeah.
That's the worst Christmas ever. If you open up on a Christmas morning, what's this? It's a test show T-shirt. I enjoy their show. Whose show?
Exactly.
Thought spiral, son. What? What? I'm 9 years old. I want a kite. You thought I was going to say kike, didn't you?
No,
I don't do
didn't.
that, Josh.
I was so getting off on the accurate 9-year-old impression you were doing.
It was very good. You know, I'm trying to get us to be more controversial. Like I said, kike. So shouldn't we get letters from that?
Do you want them? We could ask for letters, but I don't think you really want letters on the subject of kike.
No, I don't. I've already seen
I'm sure you've gotten letters with the subject line kike in them before.
Right, but nothing like... No, but they were not friendly. Believe me, they were not friendly.
Yeah.
Unless go back to where you... Hey, Jew... Go back to the Balfour Declaration. Sometimes they're very, very knowledgeable.
They really are. It's a deep well of anti-Semitism.
Hey, Jew, the Balfour Declaration is like Godwin's law. It doesn't exist.
Hey, Jew, I'm with King Antiochus.
Who is that?
At the Purim.
Antiochus?
Yeah.
It sounds like Tuchus.
Sure, everything does when you get enough chach in it. Hey, so did you get your sleep report today?
No, it's due today, though.
Yeah.
I did go back.
And get your magazines?
I did.
See, I remember the last show, even if you don't.
This is considered, in my therapy, this is just how small strides I'm making. In my therapy, this is considered to be major steps forward.
Yeah.
And you know what the major steps forward are?
What's that?
Major step forward is, the old Andy would not have gone and gotten back to the comic books. And the thing that's weird about it is...
Why? Because you would have been embarrassed?
embarrassed about
And
it.
embarrassed for being forgetful, or they're going to think you're a Jew who's too cheap to buy new magazines.
Well, I
know these
always
are two
the
levels of
subtext is
fear.
always I'm a
Right.
cheap Jew.
Is it?
In every anecdote? It was about it combined all of my problems, which when you look at it in this case, you go, that's not a problem, Andy, that you get nervous about calling about that. But it is a problem because when the big problems come, they're just a lot of these little things together. It's from me not confronting stuff.
Right.
So, I don't say anything about the comic books. First they came for the comic books. I said nothing. Right. Then they came for the graphic novels. Again, I wasn't concerned. This bit can't go anywhere, right?
I thought there was like teed up for a third.
Then they came for. Oh God, I just froze up. Oh. And they came for the self-help books. I said, you know what? I'm tired of them. Take it.
Okay, all right.
Maybe
You got out.
He got out. I forgot. Okay, I'm not going to say it.
So the sleep thing is still pending.
All right, so the sleep thing is still pending. But the thing was, so it was like I can't make that call, is what I said about the comic books. Then when I made the call, I felt so proud of myself.
Yeah.
And then when I went down there again, I felt so proud of myself. And then when I left there, I said, "What are you feeling proud of yourself for? It's not like you've come up with the Manhattan Project."
All right. No, I get it though. I mean, I'm kind of in that mode right now. Like I had like a horrible ADD, can't pull the trigger on any task today kind of day.
You had a bad ADD thing or a bad OCD thing?
No, ADD. I could not focus today. I have several tasks that I need to get done, and I couldn't really get any of them done.
Now, okay, so let me see.
Hanukkah shopping for my niece and nephews. I got done.
Hanukkah shopping?
Yeah.
Don't you just send them a note saying, look, it's a horrible holiday, get over it?
No. I send them, this is my time to shine as an uncle.
Really?
Yes.
Are you...
Because I forget their birthday every year. Oh. So I just like one gift a year is pretty much how the pattern I've laid down. So I have to make it pretty good.
These are for your niece and nephews?
My brother's kids, yeah.
How old are they now?
8, 14, and 18 maybe.
Well, how come your brother doesn't remind you to call them for their birthday?
Because that's not how we roll.
Not the wine. Not the wine.
No, my brother and I have a very, very perfect agreement, which is we have no expectations from each other. Right. But it's stated. Like we call it the gift of indifference.
So in other words, you've agreed with each other that you don't have to be anything for each other.
No, we're always there for each other.
Right.
But we're never obligated in the pedestrian ways, shall we say.
Right.
You know, there's never an expectation that there's going to be a birthday present or a Christmas present. Like it covers kids.
So he was cool when you told me that you're going up there a couple of days ago when you don't want your brother to know because you're doing. So he really would be cool with that.
Yeah, he'd be fine with that. Yeah, absolutely.
God, that was a bad character I did. I always thought it was good at the start.
Yeah.
Can you tell I'm acting?
I already did I already threw in the my favorite son joke in that earlier thing. So.
My favorite son.
Just for chat. So.
Unbelievable that you had to punch up my bit by having your father. Oh, my favorite son is now up. What happened to us?
I don't know.
What happened?
I don't know. Everything was fine.
Everything till that moment.
You panicked and really.
No, because
you pulled the cord early on that panic.
I started to worry about.
That was just a beat. That was just a breath.
Okay, here's what I was worried about. Okay. If I came over here, I didn't come over here, but let's say I came over here because I know that you wanted to borrow some of my strychnine.
Yeah. And
I dropped it on the ground, and then the dogs ate it. That's my big fear now. That's OCD. I'm afraid now. I'm already living in a world where I brought over something that the dogs got into.
Yeah.
But you're saying if something happened to the dogs and it was my fault, you'd be cool with it.
I'd be cool. I know. You know, we have the arbitration agreement. So.
Oh. Do we have? We signed an arbitration agreement.
Yes,
wow.
So.
Why am I releasing my medical records to you?
I don't know. Why are you dropping weed on the ground in front of my dog?
We'll keep it at that. Yeah. Well, but the thing is, that's why I got very worried. But what if they had eaten it? They might get sick.
They probably might get, maybe, I don't know. I've heard that it's bad, but now they're selling weed for dogs, so.
They cannot be.
They do, like especially CBD stuff.
Now, what's
I
happening with...
I think only CBD.
CBD works. Yeah. Now, is Jeff Sessions going to be able to do anything to prevent us?
I don't think so.
Because he's got his own problems, doesn't he?
I think he does.
I'm hoping he'll be distracted.
It's going to happen, Andy. There's already other states. Don't worry.
I know. In fact, I'm going up to another state.
To Portland, are you going? Or did you go there?
Did I ever... Why didn't I...
No, once again,
I could have promoted that gig, right?
Yes, you could have.
Well, I had plenty of times to promote that gig during the podcast. There's probably people from Portland. Are there people from Portland who listen to this podcast?
Yes, there are.
Well, I blew it.
Yeah.
Can you insert this in?
No.
To the one today?
No, because it's the one today.
Yeah, but you could, you have any splicing material?
I do. I have some Scotch tape.
Why do they call it Scotch tape? Why do they call it vodka tape? This is what I do now.
What
I just
the
come up. Why do they call it toothpaste? You don't paste your tooth through it. This is the world's most bored observational comedian. Why do they call it ice cream cones? It doesn't come in a cone shape. Okay, maybe it does.
Yes. This premise keeps going at a parallel trajectory for a long time.
Hey, this is better than any bit you came up with right now in this moment.
It's true. It's true.
Can you tell, though, that I've been listening to Too Beautiful to Live, shout out, and that I'm now listening better because I see now what the podcasts I enjoy, they both listening to each other and they're both respectful. And I feel like I'm not respectful toward you. I'm just kidding now because now I'm over the bit. Okay. I'm over the bit because we have edge.
Right.
What we have.
Exactly. There's tension.
Are there podcast awards and have we been nominated for them?
There probably are. And
we're not
probably
going to
haven't. Yes.
Have we gotten any reviews recently from like the AV Club?
No. We should get on that. Hey, AV, if you're listening.
They used to hate me, the AV Club, but I don't think the same people are there anymore.
They like Mystery Science Theater generally.
I know they do.
Maybe we can cancel each other out.
No. I think the good thing about my ability to have grudges and to be angry and all this stuff is that many people have changed at the various places where I had bad relationships with.
That's good.
Yeah, so I don't think anybody is in the AV Club who still hates me.
That's good. That's the nice thing about sticking around, that generational turnover of resentment.
You'll be, as Jackie Gleason said, you'll be nice to the people on the way up, and then you'll see on the way back down.
Gen Xers hated me, but the millennials are coming around.
I heard somebody argue, and if I've said this before, shoot me, but I've heard someone argue that pretty effectively that all of these artificial definitions and categorizations are exactly what they are. They're artificial. So in other words, a Gen Xer is not different from me.
Oh, yeah, we are.
I know that you could be, but the idea that everything goes by these generations.
No, of course.
All right, thank you very much. Are you a Gen Xer?
I am.
And where did that come from? Did you come after W?
Wow.
Hey, you're listening to the Funny Laugh Show. I'm Andy Kindler.
And I'm Elvis.
And we're going to be inappropriate laughing all the hour. Hey, Josh, ever tell you the time that I jumped over the neighbor's fence and it had to have 5 stitches? No. That's gotta hurt. Boing!
Wow.
You notice I give you plenty of berth. What's it called? I give you a wide berth.
Yeah.
When you go into Baby Man. There's nothing better than Baby Man. It's going to be your bread and butter when you're older.
Someday.
Have you shown Allison Baby Man?
She knows Baby Man.
What do you call it Baby Man? No.
No,
Baby.
Of course not. I don't call it
Do you
anything.
make her call you Baby Man?
No.
Oh, I have to adjust our schedule.
Uh-oh.
But I'll talk about it afterwards.
Okay.
Maybe.
All right.
Is it going to mean now that you will not be able to have fun for the rest of the podcast because I'm going to.
No, I'm going to compartmentalize.
You're very good.
Thank you.
You're like Bill Clinton with that. The election's tomorrow. By the time you have this podcast, we will have decided what Alabama is going to do. Let me tell you something. I'm going to predict to you right now.
Right.
There's no way I can know when they're listening to this. You wouldn't do any vocal tricks, right? To, like, if I predict who's going to win. You're not going to do vocal tricks.
No, I won't.
Okay.
I promise.
So the winner of the Alabama, I'm going to predict it. If I'm right, I'm right.
Okay.
The winner is Doug Jones. So that's it. I've said it now. It's not something
That's
I
a bold prediction.
Later. Doug Jones. You knew the bit I was going to do, right?
I did, yes.
But did you know that I was going to do it that poorly?
I was hoping for something a little deeper and a little bit more inserted sounding, but
I'm making a prediction now. We don't know. This is not the future yet.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned. Who will win the Alabama race tomorrow?
Doug Jones.
And I'm saying it now that
Doug Jones
will win that election. So and nobody can come back later and say that I added in
Doug Jones.
I'll tell you something. If you want to know how old you have to be to not do an adolescent bit, there is no age that you won't do it, because Josh gave me a podcast off-camera cue that he was going to take on the Doug Jones.
Why do you have to keep pulling back the curtain on everything?
I love that fourth wall. That's the fourth wall they should see.
Damn you and your meta-ness. You and your metitude.
Oh, maybe we should have named the podcast Meta. Right?
No.
Do you think if we had named it something pretentious, we would have known very quickly?
I think we would have, yeah.
What would be like Thought Discovery? Thought Discovery would have been bad.
Thought Discovery was nice.
Thought Discovery would have been bad. Genius Talk would have been a terrible name for the show.
Yeah. I actually had a problem with the name, the company that did Mystery Science Theater was
Showbiz?
Was Best Brains Inc.
Oh, Best Brains.
And I never liked that much.
Were they from Minneapolis?
Yeah.
Because
it was the company that formed to do Mystery Science.
Oh, because my friend's comic book store, comic book? That's not right, is it? It's not a comic book. His comic book store was called Big Brain.
Yeah.
I told you about that because I went there with you. The last time I was in Minneapolis, you were with me.
Yeah.
And you were subjected to my conversation every day, basically.
Pretty much.
I hung out by the pool with you.
Right.
And when I tell people that I hung out by the pool with you, it is not how it sounds. Like we're out with exotic drinks.
Right.
And we're sunbathing.
No, there was a tarp over the pool.
There was a tarp over the pool. And we just looked at the pool.
Right.
When was the last time you've gotten your trunks on and took a dip?
In my yard?
No, in the pool.
No, I know, but the pool in my yard is what you're saying.
Where's your pool?
It's right there.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Am I the world's stupidest man?
Yeah, I guess.
Why am I not? How can I forget you have a pool?
Right now, but there's a big pool out there, yeah.
And you maintain it and everything?
I do. Well, I don't, but
I know you
nice
don't, but you
Korean
have
man
people
does,
come over?
yes.
That's not cheap, is it?
It's cheaper than you'd think, but it's not
Okay,
cheap.
I would think it would be $3,000 a year to maintain your pool.
No, it's not.
Less?
Less.
How about is it take a lot from your electricity grid?
Yeah, I can't tell. Well, it probably does cost that much with the electricity, come to think of it. Yeah.
You fool. And do you also have a hot area?
Yes.
You've
been here in the day.
We could have been inviting some chicks over.
Yes.
Oh, but our wives would be here.
No, I mean, no.
I mean, so that's amazing. You must have been quite.
That's amazing. You have a whole swimming.
Now what is this over
You have
here?
a cement pond in your yard. That is fantastic.
Now these mushrooms you're eating, where do they come from? They come from the ground?
No, they're grown on poop, I hear. That's fantastic. So you take these poop mushrooms, and it makes you crazy. That's amazing.
I like mushrooms. Let's not kid ourselves.
I'm not kidding.
Do you know how my first wife died?
Mushrooms.
You know how my second wife died? She died from being hit over the head with a shovel.
Oh, that's right.
Because she wouldn't eat the mushrooms.
Right.
Now, you would say these days you couldn't get away with a joke like that. Foster Brooks had a TV clean act.
Right.
And yet...
And then he had his Vegas After Dark lounge.
No. Oh, is that what you think the shovel hit to the head was? Part of his darker set?
Well, it's certainly darker, but it's TV clean.
How do you know he had this other act? You're making
because
it
I just know that. I just know that about him, and even his act was. If you, in fact, one of our, I posted it on the Twitter.
Yeah, someone
feed
sent in the thing of what was that?
Of the Foster Brooks animatronic, Foster Brooks from the MGM Grand in Vegas that used to be there.
Oh my God!
Which I actually saw in person, and it was an animatronic Foster Brooks that would stand there and it would mime to a recording of his act.
Okay, I read this so fast that here's how bad I am at
like my wife bought a bra. I said, "Why do you need a bra? You don't have anything to put in it." And she's like, "Well, you still buy shorts."
Is that one of his?
Yes, it is.
Why does he have to be drunk to do that particular joke?
Because it works in a lounge in Vegas at 2 a.m. He's one of the people then.
So he first of all,
and he doesn't play it as much as we play it. he played it like Dean Martin played it. Just like right at the edge of his slurring, and then once in a while it'd be just outside of Rochester.
Well, I wish I could have been back in Vegas in the Rat Pack, or any time when the crowds were good.
Playing blackjack, 21. Why did you even have to step on that? You knew it was coming. You could have given me.
I thought that would have been funnier. Isn't it funnier that I knew where you were going?
No, it was obvious where I was going. It was all about execution.
Oh, so you think if you want, you could take out my track?
No, I can't. It bleeds. We all bleed.
I think Vegas is a horrible town for comedy. It's always been a horrible town. When I've been there, is all I'm saying.
Yeah,
and
Vegas is not a town for meta anything.
Right. Deconstruction.
Yeah. They don't want deconstruction. They don't want ironic delivery. They don't want to think on another level.
No, they really don't.
No, because the other level they're thinking on while they're watching you is, fuck, I was up.
I was up. Yeah. And the thing about it is, even when it was a great town to play in, there was still racism.
Sure.
Stay in hotels.
Yes.
But remember, you know that line of reasoning from the old guys. Oh, Vegas was the greatest back in those days, except that it was racist.
Right.
But there's something to be said about the old style mafia guys. They made the place look nice.
Right. It's like Roy Moore's when the country was when it was great was sure there was slavery, but we had family values.
This is more insidious. It's not even like this is what a lot of those people say. Is I'm sorry for yawning, but it's a new character I'm doing. But the whole idea,
self-realizing man.
At some point in our history, it went from there were these Ku Klux Klan, there were these evil people, to oh no, the Civil War was about states' rights,
right?
And for some reason, these people want to sell this. I think the old racists were more proud to be just asshole racists. I'm not saying it's better, but when did it get to be like, no, we're the alt-right. We're not. We don't. And it's like they want to claim that they don't hate Jews and everything, but they're anti-Semitic. So I don't understand. If you hate Jews, David Duke hates Jews, right?
I would think, yes.
So he's not going to go, oh no, I don't hate the Jews. I just
want to be separate from them.
He does they do kind of say stuff like that.
Absolutely. No, they believe that they can treat themselves as if they were a minority.
Right.
As if we have Black History Month. Why don't we have White History Month?
Well, I read an article in the New Yorker because I'm very sophisticated.
All lives matter.
All lives matter. I would say I hate nothing more than that one when people go, all lives matter.
Right.
Not just black lives. This is my white redneck guy.
Oh, is it?
It must be very.
I thought it was your guys and dolls.
Sorry?
No.
No, it may. There's nothing like a dame.
Yeah, that's better.
Remember those chicks we took a ride with, operating side by side with? Yeah, do. Yeah. No, that's from those damn Yankees.
I got the horse right here.
His name is Paul Revere. And there's a horse, what you would, but the bull, bull, bull. Why is that song to the melody of another song? You're not. You're telling me Can Do is that song.
Can do.
How do you have a
Can
song?
do.
Can Do?
The guy says the horse can do.
I mean, why would you make that into a song? I have a horse right here. You can bet it if you want to. You go up to the window and you put a little bet. That's what we do. That's what we do. You know that's the way you gamble is what we do. Why is the horse named Paul Revere, first of all?
Wow, are you making a bad meal of
I've got a horse right here. His name is Paul Revere. Well, then I would imagine he would only run fast if he was running
if the
toward
British
people.
were coming.
I'm on fire.
Wow. Yeah.
Don't you edit out the magic from this
I will
podcast.
not. I will not. I haven't edited. I haven't even heard an edit point yet. Tonight.
You know-
it's that good.
No, you have to take out old man Andy can't remember. He said the story about Kamal Nanjiani.
No.
You know, I'm a big fan of Kamal Nanjiani. I think I do good impressions, but they're not specific. I could do the New Yorker.
Yeah.
You've heard me do that.
I've heard you do it incessantly.
Hey,
Oh, it's a different New Yorker.
what's my normal New Yorker sound like?
Yeah.
Coffee?
Yes, that.
See, I don't think of myself as having a particularly thick accent. Do you think I have that people can still tell I'm from the... I'm not even kidding now, and you can tell by the lack of humor involved. But do you think people could tell immediately that I'm from New York?
I think East Coast. You give off East Coast with your.
But I don't sound like ads.
It's not classic Queens or classic Brooklyn accent.
Coffee.
Yeah.
Coffee, right. But you can tell.
Yeah. But it could just be a Jew thing, quite honestly.
They can take the Jew out of New York, but they can't take the anti-Semitism out of this country because it's something that's lasted here a long time, and I don't see it going away anytime soon. Would you consider what I just did a bit?
I don't know. I wanted to give it air.
Would you say it was a cry for help?
It was a cry for equality.
Do you know I parked right in front of the house of the people, and they can kiss my ass. Those
Really?
people. First of all, this
They're
one guy.
towers. Be careful. They're towers.
Seriously? Well, you know, I got a ticket in Pasadena. I hope I haven't told this story before, but you cannot park overnight in Pasadena.
Wow.
But there's no sign on the street. This is a true story. Have you heard it?
No.
Thank God.
Nor was I doubting it being true.
There's no sign near where you're parked that says you cannot park overnight in Pasadena.
Right.
So I went to fight it. I get into the guy's office. I started to rub his legs. Is that wrong?
Not yet.
He says to me, how did you get here? How did you get to Pasadena that day? I said, I took the 110 freeway and I got off there. He goes, I'm sorry. There was a sign when you get off the freeway ramp that says there's no overnight parking in Pasadena. If I had come in on this one street,
Really?
he said, if you had told me you came in on Colorado Boulevard, he would have let my case go.
Oh, man.
But you have to say, do you say to yourself, wow, it's pretty cool that Andy would go down and, I mean, that's really, or do you say, what kind of idiot goes down to a court to challenge a parking ticket? Which way?
I assume this is before Twitter. Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Because Twitter gets that kind of stupid energy out right now. But I'm sure at the time you were completely riled up at the injustice of that ticket.
Well, first of
and
all,
there was not going to be anything that would stop you from going to Pasadena to fight about it.
Well, first of all, I thought I had the perfect case.
Sure.
You know, I was swaggering. I swaggered in there. I said, good day, sir. How are you?
Yes, Mr. Let me check the docket. Kindler versus Pasadena.
Please observe these 5,000 photos I took of the area proving that there's no sign.
Okay, that's great. But how did you
110 freeway? Why? Why are you laughing, sir? Just because I took the one. Why would the 110 freeway affect my?
Poor
What happened, sir?
Poor soul. Well, if you would have been paying attention, perhaps you were texting while you were driving.
No, but.
Then perhaps you should have obeyed the sign that's clearly posted on the 110 off ramp.
Okay,
There's no parking overnight here in Pasadena.
But can we agree?
Case closed. Boom.
Can we agree as
Boom.
people?
I said boom, sir.
I said good day, sir. Can we agree as people, as friends?
I'm not your friend, sir. I am an officer of the court.
But can we agree as people that is a bad rule? You can't expect as you're getting off a freeway. Oh, let me see what the overnight parking rules are like.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
No, you're supposed you went out of character.
Oh, I thought we were done. I thought we were now in the hall with Doug Llewellyn.
I wanted you to say rules
In the hall with Doug Llewellyn.
Doug Llewellyn. And Rusty, doesn't Rusty also have some stuff for you to sign?
He does. After this interview.
Is our show going to go?
No. I've been trying to not have to break that to you that bluntly, but no.
That's a great idea for a show.
Yeah.
Kids Court.
Yeah.
How is your show? How did your launch go?
As I sort of suspected, kind of a non-event, but I've been tweeting incessantly about it for the last week.
And did you get some reviews?
We didn't get really reviews. They did not do, I gotta say, they didn't do a whole lot on the PR front from this company, but all the people who've commented have been very excited and positive about it. Did
you see that as a letdown, or you kind of expected it?
I kind of expected it, Yeah. Of course, you want something magical to happen, just because it's the only chance for it to. But I honestly always think this movie is going to be one of those things that just kind of word of mouth its way around.
I think so. I think so because
I think it's a movie that comedy fans will love. I think that stand-up fans will really love, and I think fans will. They'll talk about it. But
well, I'm not doing this just because you told me, please talk the doc up more during the show. But I loved it, and the reason why I loved it was because I didn't know. Well, first of all, I expected to enjoy it. I didn't expect to not enjoy it.
Right.
Although I thought there'd be an interview with me, and there wasn't. But
you knew you hadn't done one, so it was kind of
that's how they get you. That's how they get you. But I wasn't expecting a peer into what it's like to be on the road, because that's very hard to capture. Like really the relationships between those guys is very hard to capture. Like the Pete Lee, who's always worried about how to do his joke, and then is Chad? Would you say is more of the grizzled veteran who's more not?
He's the not most
negative,
grizzled.
but cynical. More cynical.
He's more cynical, and he also doesn't give a shit.
He doesn't give a shit.
In a good way, in the way you kind of want a comic to not give a shit.
Well, in fact, that's the only thing that can save all of our lives is when we stop caring, not about Trump, but when we stop doing things caring about, the results.
Right.
Even though it's hard when you have no rent or mortgage.
Right. Yeah. No. The creative results are what I know I can control. And then the rest of the shit you can't.
You can't. Now, you can cut this out if you want, but did anybody say anything about even Louis C.K. being in the movie?
No, not a single person.
That's interesting.
Not a single person has commented as far as I know.
And I'll tell you why I think that also happens. If your movie had come out the day that Louis' announcement came out, that would mean something.
Right.
I mean, it would be like people go, I can't believe I'm watching this guy. It's like watching Superman and Gone with the Wind. But because a few weeks went by, it's like...
No, I'm sure it's easy to forget you're supposed to hate him now,
Yeah.
And he goes away really quick. But no, literally not a single person has mentioned it.
And so
if you've seen the movie, by the way, please go to where if you got it on Amazon, comment there if you can, do a review and rate it, and if you did it on iTunes, same thing there. If nothing else, it's exciting for me to see
he
when I
wants
go
to see
there,
it.
But also on iTunes, it actually helps boost traffic.
I think it's going to be something that I said this to you before. I wish there was a document. There is a documentary channel, but I would like to open one myself and have good documentaries on all day. And there's no place that has great documentaries on all day and night.
Well, Netflix is kind of the place.
Let me
for
finish.
It now.
You know what? Forget that. If there was a subscription service that you could pay where you could stream movies and stream shows.
Sorry.
What do you think?
I don't know. I just want to be on the ground floor of this.
Would you like to? Have you ever woken up any day and said, "I'd like to get into the Andy Kindler business"?
No. I've said I'm thinking of getting out of the Andy Kindler business, but
that hurt. See, sometimes the things you say are very hurtful.
Are they?
Yeah, because I'm not always because I'm one of the greatest comedians in the history of the world. It doesn't mean that I don't cry.
Or I wish Andy Kindler was good for business.
What's that one?
I don't know.
Oh, you got me confused.
We have some questions.
Oh, yes.
I posted the now weekly request for.
Now, can we do Larry's first? No, right? Do you remember Larry's? The week in meals.
The week in meals. My big meal. Let's
Okay.
just go with our best meal of the
All
week.
right.
My best meal. Well, actually, it was a tie. It was the Palm with Josh Mankiewicz.
Whoa.
And it was Boneyard Bistro with a bunch of dudes yesterday.
Boneyard Bistro is fantastic. They sponsor the show. That'd be good.
They should. They really could.
So that was, what was the one with Josh?
That was the Palm in Beverly Hills.
That's a great restaurant.
Oh, yeah.
You can't go wrong with that. My meal of the week has been getting tri-tip and provolone from Whole Foods.
Really?
They have good quality meats.
Oh, nice.
Santa Maria tri-tip.
Yeah.
And I had 2 or 3 days of sandwiches out of that, and I was very happy.
Bought it cooked or you bought it?
You bought it like wrapped up in like here's the provolone, here's the cheese. Get your own bread.
Oh, it's like a cold cut?
It's a cold cut.
Oh,
Exactly.
okay. Gotcha.
And I made my own, which you wouldn't think of me as doing. I made my own dressing. Because I find that it's hard to put the right dressing on roast beef. I almost always want a little horseradish in the mix.
Okay.
How do you do it?
I'm not a big horseradish guy, but I will if I'm using any of the traditional condiments, it would be that probably.
Do you like Bay City's Deli?
Yes.
That's a good place. It's in Santa Monica?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a sandwich place. Okay, so was that?
That was the meal of the week.
That was the meal of the week. So
Okay.
sandwiches and.
I had lunch with Joel Madison and Gruber and Pat Hazel, who was in town,
Wow.
and Mark Fight. And
Did my
John
name come
Carney.
up?
It did not. I mean, yeah, no, it didn't come up.
You know, so let me talk more about Annika, the Jew. So, I wanted to hear more about the. Did you tell me all about the Mankiewicz thing, or
No.
Can you maybe tell me later about the My Pillow guy, or you don't want to talk?
Oh, he had done a story with the My Pillow guy, and I don't want to spill because it's not a story that's aired yet. But I was
okay.
lobbying him to. I was trying to convince him that there's something genuinely sinister there, because I watched his self-produced tribute to himself documentary this past week.
Where do you get that?
It's on MikeLindell.com.
What's Mike Lindell?
I'm Mike Lindell. I'm My Pillow guy, Mike Lindell.
Oh, I didn't know that was his name.
And it was divine intervention that brought me here today.
And I think somebody listened to our podcast.
Yeah.
Said that he was a crack.
He was a crack. I had a problem with the drugs. Yeah. And then one night I asked God to help me get off the crack. And I woke up the next morning. Excuse me.
Leave that in there. Everyone has to hear that.
And I woke up the next morning and I didn't want the crack anymore.
And
then God told me to make pillows. And then I went out to all these vendors, and it was divine intervention that they'd even help me out because I kept bouncing checks. I'm kind of condensing it, but he rented out the Pantages Theater in Minneapolis, about 1,000-seater,
right,
and set up a Tonight Show like set on stage. And it basically was a testimonial. It was like he hired this local woman clearly to host it, and it was telling the Mike Lindell story as if.
It was a story.
As if it was a story, first of all, and as if these people showed up, as if it was
Oh, Tonight Show. It's the Pillow Show. But
so he had his kids on the testimonial of that, and then he had a guy from treatment who he started working with,
Right.
And this was after God had cured him of crack, but because I want the drug stuff to be part of my mission, and I wanted to go to treatment to see what that was all about, and so
is that what he says?
Pretty much, yeah.
What is that? What is he trying to be there in that?
He thinks he has some bigger mission.
Oh, okay. But it's not pillows, though, right? Pillows.
Well, pillows are the vehicle, I think, for great. I think he's going to run for something.
He likes Trump, I think, too.
He thinks he is Trump, and it's the same pattern. And you look and you watch this testimonial, and it's all these people basically going, yeah, he lied and lied and lied, and then he pulled it out, and it's total Trump,
He lied, they say, on the documentary?
Well, the people he's working with now, he started off by bouncing checks to them all, and he was just one of those guys who could talk anybody into anything, or wanted you to go away so bad they'd say yes, And that's Trump, and it's the same. It's a Minnesota version of it. Oh yeah, and there's a little cross peeking out from the top of his shirt, but I think there's a bigger vision there. There's a narcissism there that can't be contained by the pillow business.
Well, but he's more likable than Trump, though. Believe it or not.
Yeah, he is.
And I don't like him that much.
But you should watch this thing.
I will watch that.
You won't watch it, but it's...
So now we don't know if the other thing is going to happen, right?
What other thing?
The Mankiewicz thing.
Well, he has to. It's in the...
But did you get good stories about that?
I didn't get great stories about it, but
okay.
he confirmed that.
Keep that under
He confirmed that the man certainly is...
fun.
Enjoys himself.
Well, when you watch the one, which is one of the best commercials I've ever seen since the Chuck McCann's in your bathroom commercial.
I'm in your home now. You hear this? Your down pillow makes your head go down.
Now, you have a similar problem. He's like, every conversation goes, you have a similar problem with your... One was a down
the memory
pillow.
foam, it didn't match the curve of my neck, and it probably won't match yours.
You are too obsessed with it.
I'm totally obsessed now. Oh, yeah.
It didn't matter. But why did he get sued, or is that for another episode?
Well, let's not say I got sued. Let's say I got reprimanded by the Better Business Bureau, and, I was sued.
Because it's always the same deal?
Well, yeah, if you can't say if you call now you get 2, because they're going to give you 2 no matter what. So you
you're
just
saying
gotta
there's no time
say,
you can call.
this is Mike's special, you get 2 pillows.
Oh, but he does say if you call now. He implies like it's going away.
Right. I don't say that anymore. No. Don't even say that I say that.
Well, that's unbelievable. Now, any other questions we have? I know that I'm trying to be more
we have
focused this
week. It looks
week.
like we actually have a bunch here.
A bunch of questions. This is how the show has evolved. You people write the show.
Perush wants a request. Try singing I Feel Free by Cream. No.
Until my seeds are dried up. Boom, 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 boom. How is that a lyric in a song? Until my seeds are dried up. What does that mean? He's coming?
You're so bad at deconstructing songs. It's not your wheelhouse, Andy.
That was my least favorite Woody Allen movie. Deconstructing songs?
Yeah, it's not good. More Foster Brooks. We already covered that. Perush is back to say, and I'm also watching Freaks and Geeks. Maybe Josh can talk about a funny anecdote or something.
Why can't you? I would be good.
I probably could. Freaks and Geeks was much fun.
Did you know when you were going through Freaks and Geeks, you didn't know when you were going through that it'd be such a seminal thing?
No, of course not. But we knew
you were having fun,
knew it was
though.
good, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we all thought it was good. What we were doing was good, but I don't think, no, you never, especially at that time when that was that was the first DVD set by Shout Factory, was Freaks and Geeks, pretty much.
Oh,
so it's
okay.
like, so when we were doing it, that didn't even exist really. That whole, your whole show lives on thing.
Is that where Judd changed the music, or he didn't change the music, or?
There was a few cues we had to change.
Right,
but
right.
There was one that I probably told this story before, but Neil Young had signed off on a song, and it was like the first time for my episode, and it was one of the first. I was told it was the first time he ever signed off on a song for
a TV
show, and he had watched it apparently on the bus and stuff.
Wow!
But then when it moved from NBC to ABC Family or Fox Family, whatever it was,
he withdrew it.
No, they couldn't afford
anything.
They couldn't afford it, so it changed to a Dean Martin song is what it aired with.
How much does it cost in general? Do you know what those things cost? Or it's hard to say.
It can be like $10,000 to clear both sides of a song, because there's publishing and there's the master.
The master is the actual recording, right?
Yeah. And that's there's 2 shares for each song, and you have to cover both.
So when you hear,
that's why when you see music docs a lot, they're using live footage a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Because then they don't have to pay the master.
Or you hear somebody else singing, "They've all come to look for America."
Right.
I don't know why I did that. I can't take it back now. Thank God you'll take it out of the edit.
Yeah, sure I will. Mm-hmm.
You've come up with a number of different ways of showing your disapproval. Sure.
It's the Charlie Callis school of passive aggression.
I don't want to.
Let's see what else. Let's see. Who will get top billing when you tour together? Asks.
On the Foot Spiral?
Dan Wade, yes.
I don't think we do a top billing. Well, obviously my name comes first in terms of money. I don't know. How do we do it normally?
It would be
alphabetically, right?
Yeah. No, I would know. There's no situation where I would give a shit enough.
I said alphabetically because I win,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
No, not
you know,
Josh.
you win across. You win with both first and last name.
The comedy team of Weinstein, Kindler.
Yeah, it doesn't work. It's fine.
Too many Jews.
Here's from Mark Thompson, not my Mark Thompson, but our Mark Thompson.
Is it Mark Thompson, the political guy? Because he's very good. Okay.
Mark Thompson, the political guy, is the guy I do the podcast with.
No. There's another Mark Thompson from New York.
Oh, not the Young Turks. The Mark Thompson.
Not the Young Turks.
Okay.
Wait a second. The Mark Thompson you do your show is from the Young Turks?
Does a lot of Young Turks.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. The top 5 reminders if Andy loses his place. Number 1, the Seinfeld college tour anecdote. Number 2, Mr. Weinstein. Number 3,
these are things we can go into?
These are things if you lose your place. Fallbacks. 3, a story about his musician days.
That's true.
Number 4, his admiration for Josh's brother.
That's always good.
And 5, his current Twitter feud.
That is always, if there a Twitter feud does come up, unfortunately, you're going to hear about it.
Our friend Emilio Fox, who I saw did write a nice Amazon review of the movie. Have either of you considered writing a book, maybe an unconventional Hollywood insider book by Josh? Hollywood Insider.
Oh, that's like you're inside the business?
All right. And a self-help book by Andy.
Look, everyone's sad. This will be the audio book. Yeah. Everyone's sad. I feel bad too. I feel worse if I wasn't making decent coin doing this audio book.
The one book I ever considered writing seriously was a book with Michael DeBar. And that was instead became a documentary. But initially I wanted to do a book with him years ago when we first worked together on a show.
Why were you thinking book? Because you thought
I don't know. Just because I heard these stories and I thought it would be an interesting thing. And I did interviews with him and stuff, so I knew it was a good story. But then when it came time to actually start writing a book, both of us were like, ew, a book? Yeah. And then it just kind of went away because we both had lives to lead. And then years later, I ran into him. We were both guests on a radio show together. And I was like, why didn't we do a doc instead of a book? He's like, we should. And then like 3 weeks later, shooting it.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it was stupid is really the word.
Well, you haven't lost all your money from this, right?
No, I've lost a lot of money, but not all of my money.
And did he invest too? No. Because he's the
nor would
subject.
I have wanted him to.
No, you wouldn't have.
I mean, he invested his story, you know.
How come you said you charge me to tape a documentary of my life?
Yeah.
That's where the money is.
Because I've learned.
That's not where the money is. That's where the money isn't.
The money isn't in documentaries.
No, it's not in the.
If you're Alex Gibney, the money is in documentaries.
Alex Gibney. Why do I know that name?
Because he does a shit ton of documentaries.
Well, one guy who does documentaries, all of a sudden, then did a pro Tony Robbins documentary, and I don't understand why.
Yeah,
it's like a guy who's done other. Is it ringing a bell to you?
Was it Gibney? Was it the guy who did the Scientology one? And
I don't think so because he wouldn't have. No. But if anybody can remember, that'd be a fun thing for the audience.
Tony Robbins is one of those like on the fence, like right on the border between charlatan and valuable. It seems like to me. It wouldn't be valuable to me, but I think, but I don't think anything what he's saying is harmful necessarily.
Well, here's what's harmful to me when you tell people, when you know that you can technically run across coals, you know that you can technically do it physiologically, then to make people feel like they've accomplished something by doing it is not so great to me because he's like saying, what's that?
Why?
Because you're saying they're brave because they're running over coals?
They're brave because they're taking that actual leap of faith to do it. It's not the sense of like he's telling them it's magic, but it's like jumping out of a plane. You still have to do that thing.
Yeah, but someone's going to get hurt doing that. All I can
People
think
have
is
gotten hurt doing it.
Yeah, so forget that. I don't know. I don't see him as a charlatan, but I also don't see him as a as a.
I'm not saying, and he's certainly worthy of mockery. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
But I'm just, I've thought, I always sort of evaluate these guys and go, all right, is this worth?
No,
it?
he doesn't seem like.
I think the MyPillow guy is more evil than Tony Robbins.
Even though the product itself.
I'm telling you, mark my words.
But do you think someone who could be evil would be so great at making pillows?
Yes, it's hard to imagine the two.
When the fact that you can patent your fill doesn't mean anything. I could put jelly in a pillowcase and call that a patent, but it doesn't mean people would want to sleep on it.
He could be the biggest force of evil since Stearns and Foster.
I hope he goes into beanbag chairs.
I hope so too. Like literally crawls into one.
Boom.
Boom. Josh, do you crave any food you're not presently allowed to have? From Joan Tuesday. I'm going to say, yeah. I mean, I crave good bread a lot of the time.
That's what I would crave. If I was in your thing.
I crave
great pizza.
Great pizza.
Like mozza.
But I'm at a point now where, I'll cheat every couple weeks and.
So the whole thing's a sham.
It's all a sham, yes. I can put 50 pounds back on in a week.
Well, that's the problem with all of these diets is the pudding is at the end of it. You're never going to be able to get off this diet ever.
I know. We were talking about that last week.
I know. I understand that, but I thought more about it as opposed to not remembering that I said it and just launching into it.
Yeah, no, I'm going to have to sort of transfer back to like an actual
maintenance,
low calorie, healthy eating kind of lifestyle. I think at some point, but it's always going to be carb shunting. I think from now on. I now that I know enough about sugar, and I mean not know enough about it scientifically, but know about like how my body reacts to it.
Yeah, but it seems like but you have the feeling you're on a diet because you do crave these things.
I don't really anymore that much. I mean, occasionally I do.
When you cut out sweets,
but I can do I can have a fry now or a couple fries, and it neither ruins my day nor makes me feel bad, but it's enough for me to go, oh yeah, those are fries.
Yeah. Sounds like a miserable existence to me.
Yeah, I don't gorge as much anymore.
It sounds like a horrible, deprived existence, what you're putting yourself through.
Well, I'm not saying it's for everybody.
I don't know what I'm saying. All I'm saying is I would want to do something where you can eat all you want. It's all delicious, lots of sugar, many carbs, and the weight just drops off. I think that's cocaine, maybe.
I think that's cocaine. Yeah. Gigi Griffith asks, any favorite memories of touring with Cinematic Titanic?
Yeah, one time you were on tour when I was on tour, I think.
Yeah. Did you come?
Maybe it was in Portland? I don't remember.
Yeah, we saw each other there?
I think so.
Yeah.
It's one of those stories that doesn't work.
Yeah, that was
well, did you have a good memory?
Absolutely. I mean, a lot of good memories. That was a really fun time touring.
How long did it go
My
on?
favorite, it was like 6 years total. And we did a dozen DVDs and like 125 or 130 shows in theaters. There was a New York trip that was like really fun, where it was like I had never gone to New York as a somebody,
right?
So, and it was just really fun. We played on Broadway, and we
what was the theater?
It was the Nokia Theater on 44th and Broadway, and that was also the Best Buy the time when we went back the next year.
You mean it was not even a theater?
It was a theater. It was a venue.
Best Buy
It was
theater,
a venue.
right,
yeah. It was the Best Buy theater. But we went on Keith Olbermann's show, and we went to DC Comics, and they took us to Mad Magazine, and we were treated like nerd royalty there at Mad Magazine, and they put us in. We were actually in Mad Magazine doing the scout, the weird celebrity face at the Mad.
That's so cool. Where was there? Are they on Madison Avenue?
They were like basically right across the street from Letterman's Theater. They're not on Madison Avenue.
Cool.
And they're at DC. DC.
Oh, DC bought Mad, right?
Yeah.
Something like that. Everybody owns. DC owns everything.
So that was a cool trip. Playing Broadway was cool.
Well, playing
Broadway just
Broadway
wouldn't have ever happened in any other context.
Well, you could have played King Lear or.
Right, as
Hamlet.
I'm saying, it could never have happened in any other context.
Why can't you do a nice version of this? That sound, people use that sound, the choo-choo-choo sound. it doesn't work because the idea, I'm so obnoxious. I can't come down off of it, Josh.
Why do you invite and accept listener feedback? Big mistake. Also, here's a photo of Andy's career peak. And it's you on Conan.
Is that like a slam? Because I like it.
I don't know. It doesn't seem like a slam. I mean, it's a slam on us and my choice to ask for questions. But
Well, but career peak would be I'm no longer peaking.
Yeah, no, you're on the downside is what it
Right.
says. Yeah, you peaked.
So is
Past tense.
this a character he's doing?
It might be.
Or is he a regular wiseacre?
I think he's a wiseacre. All right. This isn't going all that well this week.
I think it is going all well.
Okay. I meant this is going really well this
calling
week.
attention
Okay.
to it.
Emily B says, just hello. Love the podcast. Really makes my 90-minute commute much less tedious. I like that.
That is the best feedback I can have because that's all I ever wanted to do was to distract somebody from an unpleasant journey.
Digital or analog? Asks Albert Solis. Also, favorite Kubrick film?
Well, the favorite Kubrick film would be, what would it be, 2001 maybe?
I don't know. It's for you to answer.
I don't remember them all. Oh, well, Clockwork Orange is an amazing movie.
Yeah.
Is that Kubrick?
Yes.
But he didn't write the book. It was another guy, Arthur C. Clarke or somebody? No.
Arthur C. Clarke wrote 2001.
Okay, I got something right. I think Clockwork Orange might be my favorite movie, but it's such a scary movie to watch. I never saw For Your Eyes Only. Is it For Your Eyes Only?
No.
What am I saying?
Eyes Wide Shut.
Yeah, did you see that?
I did.
And what would you say?
I think it was poopy. It was tedious and intended to be sexy in a way that was so unsexy.
Yeah, and you did not want either Tom Cruise or
Nicole Kidman.
No.
But they played a bad marriage pretty well.
Hey, Eyes Wide Shut. Is that the way he was in the editing studio for that film?
Yeah, that would be the joke back then. Yeah.
Do you think he would have liked that movie? Probably, because he was working on it. Did he finish it?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he didn't finish it.
No, he finished it.
Oh, okay.
There was that AI that Spielberg did. That was like an unfinished Kubrick project.
Oh, artificial intelligence?
Yeah.
Thank you. Just trying to show you that.
Joe, who you got to like from this, I just want Josh to know I bought his film. I support anything you guys do. Thank you. Come on.
Oh, come on. And I'm telling you, Mom, stop writing.
No one calls you Joe, Mom.
Yes, Mom.
And then Yoshi Yamamoto, another fan of the show, another friend of the show, I should say. I always miss these, thinking he missed the opportunity to ask a question. So thanks to everyone who's been.
Wait a second. Are you saying that was his comment?
That was his, yes.
Oh, see?
Yeah.
We went the other way at the end.
Yeah.
I think it's very delightful that people are writing in.
I do too.
And
if you want to be a part of this, should we keep doing this?
I think so.
All right. Well, we don't have to answer every question, but we'll. Whenever, keep an eye. Follow us on Twitter at @thought_spiral, and before we tape each episode, which is usually Mondays, I'll post the prompt.
I like that, the prompt. I like the way that you're very concerned though about how the bit's going over. Is it going? Is it good?
I don't. You don't want to build a feature into the show that blows.
There's no concern that you could have of anything that would match my own concerns.
Well, that's good. That's kind of
Only
a barometer for me.
What's that?
That's a barometer for me.
Well, it's only...
Is this an Andy level concern?
Right.
Okay, no. Phew.
Well, there's nothing like doing a podcast. That's the thing. There's no other point. And like when I'm sitting watching TV with my wife...
That's not like doing a podcast.
No, I don't feel the need to keep the show moving.
Thanks for everybody who wrote in. Thanks for everybody who's been getting the movie and commenting about it. Thanks to, we've never shouted out Michelle Wisecarver. She's a very active booster.
Oh, cool.
Appreciate it.
Do I know Michelle Wisecarver?
I don't know, but you've probably, I'm
now
sure
I'm going
you've
to
seen
find
her.
out.
You've seen her retweeting and things.
Okay. What's her handle?
It's Michelle Wisecarver.
I want to say one thing that people may think that I'm a little behind on my emails and on everything.
Yeah.
But I just want to let you know that I have a disease. I don't know what I'm saying, Josh. What do you do?
Here's what I would say.
Yeah.
please write to thoughtspiralshow@gmail.com.
Mm-hmm.
We read them all.
That's right.
Andy occasionally gets like a viral burst of return fever.
Yeah, I do get
And he
that.
will return a few at a time. I will tend to return most of them.
Yeah, you're such a good person or something.
Unless it just clearly doesn't require a response.
You stink, Josh. What do you think about that?
Yeah.
You never get anything.
Well, no, if they ask a question, I'll probably answer it.
I think you're wrong about that.
Right, exactly. Thanks for listening.
So you had a little Casey Kasem thing going there.
Thanks for listening. Now a dead dog.
Dedication.
What the fuck with the dead dogs?
And don't forget, as our special Christmas gift this year, it'll be Josh and I will be doing our impression of those outtake tapes.
Yes, all the celebrities at their worst.
Buddy Rich, you're an ass.
Get off my stand.
Buddy Rich, you have to be. You can't be that much into the drums and expect to be a normal person. Because he was only into one aspect of drumming, which was like impressing you. Maybe not. Maybe I went too far.
He was a great
He was a great drummer.
But he was also,
Never listened to me when I gave him his reps.
He's a big fucking showboat, too.
Yeah, because he thought he was the greatest.
Well, and it was his band, so he felt like he had to be the center of attention as the drummer, which typically isn't compatible.
So there could be a whole bunch of reasons why he had a complex.
Yes.
Why shouldn't the drummer be out front?
Right. Why shouldn't I be 6 feet higher than everybody else?
But his unpleasantness went beyond...
no, he was a royal prick.
Unbelievable. I can't...
Just hearing those tapes tells you everything you need to know about Buddy Rich.
I haven't heard him in a long time. Does he go on and on and on about people's problems?
Yeah. He is not a happy man.
Do they talk back to him?
A little bit. And whenever they try, it's not successful.
I could not... I mean, I don't know. I mean, hopefully this isn't the way it is for me, but I couldn't be that hated. It would just get to me after a while.
It hasn't yet?
Why does that joke always get me?
Does it?
It does.
Okay.
The joke being that you're saying, you say I already said something horrible about myself.
Yeah.
That joke I love. Well, doesn't it bother you now that you're terrible? Like that.
All right.
I gave you the most unkind version of it. Oh, you're saying I'm terrible? Something like that. I lost where I was going with that.
Okay. Well.
Do you want these to be wild? Yes. Hey, we're going to be doing are we doing a best of show?
Just give me 3 quick ones. I think we are going to do for Christmas.
For Christmas.
Because what's the point in launching a podcast on Christmas Day?
This sounds like the loneliest thing in the world. You know what's worse
So we're
than
going to
doing
do
that?
I think we're going to do a best of show. And if you send in requests for the Christmas best of show and try to tell me what actual show it came from and about what time of the show would help too.
Yeah.
Because there's 33 of these fuckers now.
That's not a lot, but as someone who does nothing with them,
Yeah.
I could see how the problem would be.
Yeah.
I could see how the problem would be.
And anything else for you, Andy? Oh, I'm also in this movie that's on Netflix.
What's it called?
It's called The Legend of 420.
Oh, I think I remember when you were writing jokes for it, right?
Yeah, and it's a movie obviously about marijuana, and it's interspersed with various comics doing bits, and I wrote some pot stand-up for this movie. And I think there's like three bits of mine in the movie, someone said.
Is it other people doing it, or are you doing it?
There are other people doing stand-up in it.
But you're not writing for them. You're writing for your own.
No, I was just
thing.
writing jokes for mine.
And you made your own like club or something, or
they did for the movie.
They made a club. I'm playing the dumb guy.
No, they did. They made a fake club. I'm not saying it's an effective device. I'm just saying I'm in it.
Did you enjoy it?
It was 10 minutes a month. I mean, it was, I wrote the jokes, which took a lot longer than the 10-minute set.
I'm going to be in the last season of Portlandia.
That's right. Is that coming soon?
I just heard them announce it.
Nice.
Also, I'm in, have you seen me in But I'm Chris Jericho?
No.
Have you heard me promote it?
You have not.
I have, unfortunately.
Here?
I don't know what to do, Josh. I'm going to go up to Portland 2 days from now, not when people are listening to this.
Right.
And I haven't. What if I get there and nobody's there? Why can't I just have everything be like, oh, of course, Andy Kindler. I can't get a ticket. He's coming to town. Oh, I hope you get in. Why can't it be that?
Well, There's a myriad of reasons, frankly.
Right. Talent, looks. You think looks is as important as talent?
Inability to remember to promote it even on your own show.
That's so terrible.
In advance.
That's so terrible. You know what it is? We're so we don't have an ego. That's why we don't promote
Exactly.
stuff.
That's why I just finished promoting all my shit. Thanks.
Well, I think I'm good, Josh.
You think so?
But we've only talked. You told me we need to talk at least 4 hours. We only talked 3 hours.
4 hours is the benchmark, but as we start streamlining our conversation into the quicksilver that it is.
I'd like to add a benchmark Deutsche Mark joke.
I'm curious to hear about your sleep study results, so please bring those next week.
Yes, and I have other people in my family who do use CPAP. Can't go into it further.
Right, but did they say it was
They does
changed
say it
their
helps.
life? Yeah, everyone I know says.
They do say that?
Yeah.
What do I do when I go on the road?
There are, Pete Lee even talks about it in the movie.
He talks about portable?
He travels with the CPAP, yeah.
Oh, God.
But you don't have to, You're going to sleep like shit on the road anyway.
That's true.
But when you get home, at least you can strap on the big
Only I
elephant
would worry.
trunk machine and get some real sleep.
Only I would worry never about having one and not using it enough.
Right.
Why don't you get one first?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But you wouldn't use one. You would if it was a problem.
It's more like the OCD PAP machine for you.
Ooh. Josh, you know what the endings I can't stand on shows?
What's that?
Like when they
the ones
they
that
go,
are written.
Well, they make a big deal out of it, or they go the other way and they don't make a big deal out of it.
Right. So you prefer like the Irish goodbye.
What is the Irish goodbye?